Hello, Friday, May 28th. I want to go over again why did I write my book? Too late, you're hacked. Defending your small business computers and networks. So I listed over here some of the things I've done in the past. I graduated in 93, so since 94 I was a customer support engineer, systems administrator, project manager, network and security engineer. And while you're having a 20 something year career, you find problems. And being an engineer, I want to solve these problems. So one of the things that I did was I studied Bruce Schneier. He's a consultant where he discussed the psychology of security. This means that a number of people, I think I've read 30%. So 30% of the computers out there are not what they should be. That's a lot of computers. And the reason is because they don't want to spend money to possibly lose less money. Let me try to explain that again in a different manner. So let's say to make sure your computers and networks are in good shape, you have to patch them, you have to back up, and you have to test. That is time and resources. That costs money. Well, some people don't know what to do, but let's face it, everybody knows what to do. At least do the backup. That's a simple thing. Everyone knows to do the backup. But even that, sometimes people don't do it. Why don't they do it? Because they think it won't be needed. So basically, I'm spending money that I don't have to spend. And I'm talking about have to now. So if you're selling equipment, if you're selling services, if you're selling whatever you sell in your company, you're focused on the sales. You're focused on service. You're focused on producing. You're not focused on backups. I mean, you don't have to be focused 100% of the time on backups. In the book, I discuss what if we put like 10% of our time, 5% of our time on the cybersecurity angle. So the problem is that what has changed, this is very important here, what has changed in the past that has changed the dynamics of last year nothing happened, this year nothing will happen. That dynamic has changed. So, okay, the attackers, China, Russia, Iran, Norks, the North Koreans. In 2014, the criminal gangs, which are fostered in these countries, no one goes out and puts them in jail. In fact, they're given resources to hack us. The criminal gangs figured out that they can make more money on computer crime than in drugs. Because in 2014, there was a specific malware, ransomware, that they made hundreds of millions of dollars. So, it's today, it's 7 years later. And it's different today because you don't even need to write your own code. Back in the day, you had to do everything yourself. You had to hire the developer, you had to create the infrastructure, you had to all these pieces of the hacking empire had to be developed from scratch. Well, today you don't have to do any of that. You can just buy software to hack people. It's much simpler today. And if you notice that The Colonial Pipeline hack is a perfect example. They didn't focus on separating the operational side, the where the oil is, and then the office side. The office computer got hacked, and they were worried about it affecting everything else, and so then they shut the whole pipeline off. But this is just basically the same psychology of security problem, which I go over many times. Humans are predisposed not to spend money on something that they will have a chance on saving you money. We want things to be a little more defined, but the game has changed. The game has changed as it always does. Now we have, for example, now we have to worry about triple extortion schemes, where all of your data on your computer can be ransomed back to you, your clients, and your partners. So what they do is, instead of just ransoming your computer, they'll copy all your data, look through the data, and to see how they can ransom it back to you or your clients and your partners. Triple extortion. One is your own data. Two is extorting your clients. Three is extorting your partners. The game has changed. You better wake up, or 6 months from now, you may not have a company. And the bottom line is, you thought the risk was like this, but the risk is here. Are you really willing not to spend money if the risk is that bad? I mean, if you're constantly walking through a neighborhood where it requires for you to be armed, you have to buy a weapon. This is kind of what this is. You have to increase your level of defense because everyone is in a bad neighborhood. Period. That's just the way it is. Well, thank you. Hopefully that made sense. And if you have any questions, let me know. I will answer as soon as I can. Thank you.